face, without panic, the reality of our times.
Well, guys, welcome back to Maple Syrup History, Maple Singularity Syrup History.
Yes, behind the men who run the trains are many men who help to keep them running. No man works alone, for each man's work depends on others' work. Men and machine move in against the storm. The line must be kept open.
Holds the ground and keeps it back. The trailer.
Yeah, it's time for Maple Syrup History.
Happy Hobie.
That's right. Hey guys, welcome back to Maple Syrup History, episode 0 of fall 2025. We have not had an episode since we finished the year of St. Augustine. If anyone is new to this whole enterprise, on the channel that you're watching this, you can go to the playlist Maple Syrup History and watch the old episodes. The year of St. Augustine, Catholicism and Disasters, Catholicism and Beuaty. My name is Gracjan Kraszewski. You're welcome to call me Dr. Gracjan, Dr. Kraszewski. I prefer Gracjan. I don't like that kind of forced formality, but if some people like that, it's fine. I got my PhD in 2016. My focus, if you have a medical doctor who's foot and ankle, my focus is American Civil War, 19th century America. I'm the author of 6 books, 2 nonfiction, 4 novels. Brad has the most recent offering, Mark and Anna Models, which were Hippo lectures given this past year. On that note, and as I was saying before the class, this class meets once a week. These episodes get posted. Father and I do a Spirit and Life series once a month, a catechetical series. September 10th is the first offering of that, Scripture and Tradition. My Hippo lecture this year is The Lost History. It's going to be this parody of a Catholic fantasy genre set on the Palouse. The first episode of that will be September 3rd. I've already written the whole book. It's like a novella length, 40,000 words. It'll be 3 episodes in the fall, 3 in the spring. What I was saying to do the whole flock note thing is that all information pertaining to whatever intellect is doing, and I'm starting my 7th year here now, gets put on that flock note. All we're going to cover today, my friends, is this programming sheet that I have. Front and back. I'll try not to patronize you and read it word for word because you can do that. Where can you do that? At vandalcatholic.com. If you just go to vandalcatholic.com, huge shout out to our staff. All the people downstairs do a wonderful job with the website. You can click on My Intellect tab and Grow Your Faith and see all this stuff. We are not starting Mere Christianity until next week, but once we do, it's full steam ahead until Christmas on all of our offerings. I'll cover what those are and what my expectations are and that kind of thing. My whole pitch for this class, before I go over this, I'll first open up for questions again. My whole pitch, why should you come here? Why should you be here? On the one hand, there's no reason, right? I can't offer you credit for the class. I wish I could. That'd be cool if that ever transpired in that way, where people who are on campus already can come take a class and get, an elective or something like that. That might happen in the future, who knows? But I can't offer you credit. I can't offer you money. I did do a gift card to the winner of a made-up challenge last year. I might do that again. Down at Monica's coffee shop for like $10. I mean, okay, that's literally nothing. So I can't really give you anything other than like the love of the information itself. The positive, I think, is that this class has no registration, no homework, and I definitely don't want your money. There's no fee to join at all. There never will be. It just became the most famous show in the world, which it probably will in like 2 years. This will still be totally free, always, 100%. If it ever transpired that we could give this for credit, I would still open it to everyone. It's the love of the knowledge itself. I do think what we do at Vandal Catholic, sincerely, and this is where it's like, obviously thanks to God, number one, but also so much credit to Father Chase. He's an incredible leader of our whole enterprise. I think it really is unique in the Catholic world. I have not seen almost anyone who fulfills a similar function to what I do at Vandal Catholic and other Catholic centers. That's not said in hubris. It's just my official title is Director of Intellectual Formation. There's campus ministry everywhere and people have that, and that's really cool. But in terms of having a person who is an active college professor do a free class and do something at a kind of higher level than just, well, we're just going to meet twice a semester and just talk about whatever, basic Q&A. We do that at Vandal Catholic. In the fall and the spring, Father Chase and I do an AMA, and it's great. That's our most well-attended. I was talking about HIPAA lectures, 70 people. We get 250 people and do that in town or restaurants. That's fine. I think this is unique. I think it's a fun thing to be a part of. It's very much like Paris circa 1200. Thomas Aquinas and his friends sitting down to discuss things. So that's my kind of pitch for why you should be here. Do I care if you come? Absolutely, I hope you come. But that's basically the whole deal. If you're like, I was looking to get a yacht out of this deal or something, I can't offer that. It's just the love of the information itself. Before I go through the whole thing and like what this is all about, does anyone have any questions? Please feel free to ask whatever you want, because today is an exceptional class. It's an exception to the rule. I'm going to tell you in a second what our normal blueprint is going to be. It's going to be all business. For every 50 minutes, we've got to dive in and do the material. Today is going to be a shorter class. It's an introductory class. It's a hello class. Do you have any questions for me?
Should we have any part of this book read before we come to your next class?
Yeah. So I'll give you the things today. I'll come to, that's an excellent question. This is all on the website already. I can't stress enough to check out vandalcatholic.com. Now we don't have to rely on me like sending an email or a flock note, but that's brilliant, right? I list, like for instance, next week, week 1, Mere Christianity, 9-2, September 2nd. X, start of the book, book 1, up to book 1, chapter 3. From the start of the book through page 20. Our versions might be a little bit different. C.S. Lewis or someone else, hello, come on in, might have written a longer forward or something. I'm asking you for next class to read through book 1, chapter 3. So in anyone's table of contents, it should be very, very similar in these books, right? For next class, you'll have read the introduction, the law of human nature, some objections, and the reality of the law. And we'll finish conclusion of the reality of the law. I'll go through those in a second again, but yeah, I'll make it easy for you in that way. And just kind of a real quick FYI looking ahead. Books we'll read sectionally like this. When we do the encyclicals, have them all read by that day in class. Where can you find the encyclicals? They're all at Vatican.va. It's a great source. Just open source, no money, nothing. Anyways. Okay, so any questions though? Yeah, please do not hesitate. Any questions? Any question about anything in the world? Yeah.
So there's just one book, or there'll be more?
There's 2 books in the fall, 2 books in the spring.
Okay.
Yeah. But
They're on your website.
yes, sir. Exactly. And again, I'm only answering this kind of coy fashion of like, I'll tell you what all those are and do the whole detail after we do the kind of opening questions. There's 2 and 2. I can praise this man forever. I'm like, Brad King is the absolute man. He's been here forever. Him and Barb, like the true, like old, the people that have been here, before too, but they're like the true veterans in this class. You guys remember previous offerings did like, a lot of books, and there's some just like a lot of heavy lectures twice a week. The goal this year has really been to like increase accessibility. People that are intimidated and like, I don't want a first level grad school course. I just want to take just 2 books a semester, not 7, whatever. Like even last year with Augustine, we covered, I think it was 13 books or something. There's just 2 and 2. It's very simple. The hope being to catch as many people as possible. Like the people that are like, I'd come, but it seems like it's going to be over my head. It is not. Yeah, I promise it's not. We're going to be very simple. The whole goal is to kind of learn together. That's it. 2 and 2. Anyone else? Any other questions? All right, so I will give you a chance again. And I will say at that point, speak now or forever hold your peace. Once I go over this in totality, if that's okay with you all. And again, too, for all the people watching online later on, I do appreciate it. It's very, very cool that this is my main focus, online, whatever. This is the main thing, but it's nice that later on gets put out there. Whoever wants to watch it can. And so, of course, people too in the class who cannot make a certain whatever can always get caught up that way. I'm going to read basically verbatim from this programming sheet that is on vandalcatholic.com, that is copy and pasted once more verbatim, word for word there, without patronizing you, without every single line. A through D just lists everything we're doing in Vandal Catholic, right? B are these 14 talks that I mentioned before, right? 8 catechetical talks, 6 fiction artistic offerings, 8 catechetical talks with Father Chase, 6 fiction offerings or this lost history. I'm not going to talk about that. I want to talk about just the class, but those are the other things we offer, the AMA, the Great Debate. Everyone knows Doug Wilson, of course, right? Doug Wilson, the pastor across town. I'm sure everyone equally knows Trent Warren, famous Catholic apologist. They're both debating in March. I'll moderate that debate as I have for our first 5. That should be very exciting. We're trying to get the ICCU basketball arena for that, so it should be very cool. But what is this reading group course? That's what I want to talk about in this whole episode. A. So A1, 4 books under the category of Christian classics. To your question, Brad, once more 2 and 2. 8 encyclicals from the pontificate of Leo XIII to help us understand our current Holy Father's inspiration, taking his name, etc. So fall and spring, ridiculously manageable, I think, even if you're a very slow reader. And that's good. I've learned most slow readers are very smart people who retain all the information. That's great. If that's you, we're only reading 12 things over the course of the next year, from now until May 2026, right? What are these things? Well, Brad, finally to your question. In the fall, the 2 books we'll read are Mere Christianity, 6 weeks of that, and then Lord of the World. Those are the 2 books you have to get for the fall. Has anyone read Lord of the World? Know what Lord of the World is? Lord of the World is an incredibly creepy, but excellent, fantastic apocalyptic novel about the Antichrist. It was written by Robert Hugh Benson. By the way, FYI, I do not care what version of these books you get. They're all the same. Again, the differences in pages are very minimal, and get the cheapest one possible. I know, I love doing that. There's a great website called abebooks.com, A-B-E, like Honest Abe Lincoln. And my freshman and sophomore year when I was an undergrad, my tally of books to buy the new was like $600. And I got them on Abe Books for like $29. Because it was do you want this book that normally costs $80 for $1.26? 9 pages are missing, and it's all copy stain. I was like, absolutely. Whatever, no problem. So get whatever version you want. Any version is fine. Those are the 2 books you need for the fall. Mere Christianity and Lord of the World. Robert Hugh Benson, English priest. It's a fantastic novel about this American political candidate, and he gets involved in this race, and he becomes kind of this truly world leader, one world government. A lot of these kind of things that are very in vogue and conspiratorial now. This book was written a long, long time ago. Think about even 1914. It's a very old novel. Chesterton's Age, that kind of thing. Fantastic. Deals with questions like euthanasia, human life. It might even predate 1984 and Huxley's Brave New World, one of his classic dystopian novels. Let's talk about the order, though, we're going to read stuff. So, if you scroll down, get on the website, and you find the book club and week-by-week list. For next week, September 2nd, we're reading Mere Christianity 6 times. All you have to read are the first 20 pages of the book, the first 3 chapters. Week 2, September 9th, book 1, chapter 4 through book 2, chapter 2, page 21 through 46, 25 pages, and so on and so forth. We could easily say, all of you are super smart people, I just want you to read all of Mere Christianity by mid-September, and all of you could do that now. You could probably read this book in 3 days. It's no problem. But this is what I mean about the accessibility of the course, and what I'd ask you to tell your friends if they're wondering, should I join the course? Hey, should I join the course? I read insanely slow, and I don't know anything about anything. Should I join? Yeah, we've tried to really aim as low as possible this semester of just let's have a conversation about nuts and bolts faith stuff. I don't know if there's any more kind of nuts and bolts book than Mere Christianity. Just the most basic stuff. C.S. Lewis himself, not a Catholic, an Anglican, right? Who wants to deduce somehow, if possible, what are the things that are just common to all Christians? So if you have Protestant friends, anyone, atheists, who are just interested, they're 100% welcome. This is where I won't patronize you. You just see. You can just follow this on the website. We read Mere Christianity all the way until October 7th. So it's 6 weeks. On October 7th, our last week, number 6 of Mere Christianity, we'll finish that book. How is this going to work? Because we have limited time, because Mass starts at 6, and I want you guys to have time to go and pray if you want it before and get ready for Mass. We'll always hard stop at 5:50. You just have 50 precious minutes. I'm going to come in and just get right to it. I will have a printed out list of all the things I found fascinating. I'll probably go around the room what did you guys think of these 20 things? I have about 25 points. It's 20 pages. What did you think? And no one says anything. Well, I'll dive in. actually everyone starts talking, great. Like, it's your class, and the discussion just kind of go naturally. I'll prod it here and there. I will share all my points with you. But again, I say this with no false humility. I am not a theologian. I'm a historian and a novelist, and I'm not an expert. I hate that. Oh, well, I have a PhD, so I got, that's so stupid. At the risk of sounding too cheesy, it's like we're all equals here. Like, we're just discussing a book together. Yes, I run this book club. I will film the book club off my tissue box and post it later. And I'll take care of that, and I'll put on Flock now. But like, we're just here to discuss it together. I'm not here to teach you guys. That's disgusting. There's probably 100 things that you know better than I do about a lot of different topics. This is some kind of crap like that. Like, oh, you guys come here and you're my pupils, kind of nonsense like that. We're here just to read this book together. I hope a lot of you come. I hope more people come. I want to learn from you. That's really fun. One of our veterans too, George, he couldn't be here today. It's his son's birthday, actually. It's happy birthday to him. But he's awesome. I learned a lot from him. Brad, I learned stuff from you every single class. I think in different comments, Barb, the same. So I want that. Like, that's the tenor of the class. Tenor is not some kind of like, first of all, I'm a millennial idiot, right? Like, this is like, oh, let me tell you all this wisdom I've accumulated. I'm like 38 years old. Like, I'm a total moron. So the class is not any kind of me teaching you stuff other than us learning together. However, all that being said, I will have my things that I think are important. I'll do my due diligence. I'll have the class always perfectly prepared, my list of like 20 questions. So if the discussion runs dry, or like, I don't know, why don't you tell us what you think? I'll always have something to say and kind of guide the discussion, right? October 7th, we're done with Mere Christianity. We take 3 weeks off of books. And we read 3 encyclicals in a row from Pope Leo XIII, right? Inscrutabili de Concilio on the 14th, Eterni Patris on the 21st, and Supremi Apostolatus Officio on the Rosary. The 3 first ones are the Evil Society, the next one, Thomism and Christian Philosophy and the Rosary. Supremi Apostolatus Officio on week 4. So the first 2 weeks of class, that 2 months of class, pretty sweet, right? 6 weeks of Mere Christianity. You'll know Mere Christianity better than all of your friends. We'll have gotten it inside out, up, down, and then we read 3 encyclicals. And it'll be this is a nice like bone thrown perhaps to people who want some more pace. Some of you might be like, really, are we going to read Mere Christianity over 6 weeks? I read it in like 6 minutes. Like, are you for real? Like, so that's too slow for me. Okay, well, after we finish Mere Christianity, we're going to do 1, 2, 3 encyclicals in a row. Some of them are very long. What should you do about that? I'll read every word. I'll have all the notes. Rely on that. Skim it. Watch a video about it to kind of prep, and just come to the discussion. Please don't have it be a barrier that I didn't read for that day, I shouldn't come. Like, you 100% should come. The class is so relaxed. It's weird. It's a weird thing. I want it to be the highest level thing. Like, this is the greatest Catholic intellectual thing in America. And at the same time, it's not even a real class. We're just hanging out talking about books, like in a coffee shop, right? So there's no pressure. There's no, I need to get this done. It would be funny to act out, like being very angry one day if you guys aren't prepared. Like, throw up the table and flip out, like punch a wall or something. There's none of that. There's none of that stuff. But I do, listen guys, this is the only good thing I'll ever say about the Soviet Union, okay? This is the only good thing I'll ever say about the Soviet Union. Apparently in the Soviet Union, now students get all kind of like, well, this and that, and like, yeah, professors, we're on your side. I agree with that. I want to be on the side. Hello, come on in. You've come at the perfect time. This is awesome. I am seriously, because you guys came right now, I'm going to recap everything I said for you in the next 5 minutes, I promise. What is your name?
Daniel.
Daniel, what are your names?
I'm Adri.
Adri?
I'm Teresa.
Teresa, awesome. Welcome. Everyone's going to be so mad at me for being a broken record, but I said this before the class started. Some of the stuff that we do at Vandal Catholic, I do a weekly or monthly talk with Father. I do a talk on my own, and those get 30, 50, 70 people downstairs. In this class, 3 people is a lot. This is amazing, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people. And 35,000 listening live online, including Pope Leo XIV. This is great. This is awesome. The only good thing I'll say about the Soviet Union, guys, the only thing ever, is that nowadays, right, students just have it like, everything's understandable. Back then it was like, the Soviet professor was famous for making his students take an exam on a train. And he's like, yeah, I'm taking a train from here to Seattle, and you have to come on the train with me. You have to buy a ticket, take your final. If you don't buy a ticket, you fail the class. So you have to buy a ticket. And then when you're done with the exam, you just get off. Just get off my train. Like, like it's Clay Ellum. Like, I guess, explore Clay Ellum. See ya. Get off the train. What is you just came in right now. If you're asking, what is he talking about? The whole point I'm getting at is in this class, this is not a real class. It's a reading group, book club amongst friends. I really hope the two of you will come all semester and get 50 more people to come. You're all very welcome. Go to vandalcatholic.com and you can check out this programming sheet that lists everything we're doing. You are not late. You've come at the perfect time because all we're doing is reviewing what we're going to be doing all semester. We haven't even started class 1, which is next Tuesday. We don't read our first installment of Lewis till next Tuesday. So you're coming at the perfect time, all of you. What I was saying was that there is no pressure, there is no expectation to have everything done perfectly or read or whatever it may be. Simply come and we'll discuss what needs to be discussed. And to catch you up, what I said was, you'll see on this programming sheet, next week what I'd like you to do, if you want to be really involved and active, read the first 20 pages of Mere Christianity. For September, if you see online at vandalcatholic.com on the list, for September 2nd, we're reading Lewis 6 times. First installment is beginning to page 20. The next week, September 9th, 21 through 46. And I just got done saying that October 7th will be the last day that we read C.S. Lewis, basically equal sections, 20, 30 pages each until it's done. And then when you walk through the door, what I was saying was, at that point, the thing switches from Lewis is done, we read 3 papal encyclicals in a row. October 14th, 21st, and 28th, on evils of society, on Christian philosophy and Thomism, and the Rosary. It's awesome. It's great, right? I mean, our society today, right? Pretty evil, pretty awesome. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think, evils of society might be a good encyclical. Christian philosophy and Thomism, everyone understands how in vogue Thomism is, right? There are some Protestant Thomists, and they get raked over the coals by other Protestants. But it's they're already swimming across the Tiber halfway. And then on the Rosary, right? So what I was saying was, I think this is actually literally when you guys walk through the door. What I was saying was, how cool is this? The first 2 months, when October ends, we'll have read arguably the most famous Christian apologetics book and discussed it amongst ourselves, and we'll have finished 3 encyclicals. All these encyclicals, again, are from Pope Leo XIII. Obviously, to see why did Leo XIV, why did Cardinal Robert Prevost choose Leo XIV as his name? Why is he inspired by that Pope? At that point, now we're all back on the same page. November, we read Lord of the World. 3 installments, not 6, 3. November 4th, November 11th, and November 18th. And November 11th is Armistice Day, it's Veterans Day. So if there's something with that where we're not meeting, we'll figure it out. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I was telling everyone too, get on Flocknote, if you're not already on Flocknote. These things always get uploaded to a YouTube channel afterwards, and then I send you that episode in the Flocknote. So it's very possible, we can't meet on Armistice Day, everything's closed, I'll just record the episode myself and just send it out to everyone, so everyone's kind of on the same page. Then Thanksgiving, off. We come back, so forgive me, I misspoke. We have one more installment of Lord of the World when we return on December 2nd. And then one more encyclical, Specta Fides, which is on Christian education, 1885. I made the encyclicals chronologically, ascend chronologically. Who, by the way, has a time? The clock is on. What time is it right now?
It's 5:23.
Thanks. We'll always go to 5:50. Mass is at 6. A lot of you, because you're awesome Catholics, want to prepare before Mass and go over there. And so we'll always be done at 5:50 at the latest. Thank you for that. I don't have a high-tech enough phone. I just have it just shows how long I've been talking, not the actual time. So it might be midnight. I have no idea. Thank you for telling me what time it was. Okay, so then we have Christmas break, guys, right? What will you have accomplished at that point? I think a lot, right? How many encyclicals by Leo XIII do you think Catholics in America have read? Do you think more or less than 0? I think just straight up 0 probably, right? Yeah, it's probably 0.3. Someone's opened it once, no thanks, this is too complicated. And I'd probably tell this guy, listen man, you're at Vatican.va, you're reading it in Italian, you gotta click on the English translation, that was the problem. That's why you didn't understand it. But really, all jokes aside, by Christmas break, you'll have read 2 really, really important books. Again, they're arguably the most important Christian apologetics book. I'm not saying it's the best. I don't think it's the best. C.S. Lewis is not one of my favorites. God bless him. But this isn't said from a personal, just in general. If I ask someone, who's the most famous Christian writer, you might get Lewis, maybe Tolkien, I don't know. but he's certainly up there. So you'll have read that and probably understood it better than most of your friends who've just heard of mere Christianity and basically just said, oh, what he says is, it doesn't matter, just love Christ. There's a lot of modern commentators. I was watching a guy last night in an interview who was talking about, I just want to bring people to Christ. I don't care if they're Catholic, they're Protestant. It doesn't matter. And he's even downplaying. He's like, oh, I don't really worry about, insignificant things like transubstantiation. Of course, I'm like, if I was doing something like, that's everything for Catholics. What are you talking about? But there is this kind of thought, in our society now. Well, our society is so not religious, so as long as you're just Christian, we're going to spend the next 6 weeks asking, is that right? Is it true? Is that not true? What do you think? You'll have finished that. You'll have read this novel, Lord of the World, which again is a novel about the Antichrist. Fantastic novel. It deals with a lot of modern problems. Like I said, it broached the idea of like euthanasia and all this kind of stuff decades before it became a mainstream issue and problem. And you'll have read 4 encyclicals from Leo XIII. We return in, Happy New Year to everyone. 2026, we come back. And the first thing we do right off the bat is read an encyclical from Leo XIII. Quam Plures, first week of January on St. Joseph. So you have your 5th encyclical, and then we embark on another six installment section on Orthodoxy. Who has read Orthodoxy by G.K. Chesterton? Yeah, great, right? And I'm sure, I'm not being sarcastic, I'm sure if I asked you now to tell me a lot about Orthodoxy, I bet you could. It's a very famous book. Orthodoxy and Everlasting Man are Chesterton's two most famous books. There you go. What I was telling everyone before you came was we tried to set the bar as low as possible this semester. And that is not insulting or anything. In the past, when I send you out this information on Flocknote, etc., and if you check on the YouTube channel under the playlist Maple Syrup History, that's where you'll find this stuff. That name is complete nonsense. I said this class is called Maple Syrup History because I thought it was funny like 3 years ago to say, what if history was pancakes, but we poured extra syrup on it, and like the syrup was the extra stuff no one else does, and the name was born that way. It's complete nonsense. Now it's like super iconic, but but just it means nothing. But that's where you'll find the kind of old episodes. The old episodes of Maple Syrup History are old classes. Even last year of St. Augustine were often very high level kind of philosophical expositions, a lot of reading. This year, my constant pitch to anyone, tell your friends, like, if you know nothing about Christianity and you're even like, yeah, I'm not smart at all, like, I want you to come to class. It's great. This is not going to be a hard class. And once more, 6 classes on Chesterton. Chesterton is a brilliant writer, the Prince of Paradox. He's a fantastic stylist. It's very simple. Orthodoxy is the Catholic version of mere Christianity, kind of. It's basically saying mere Christianity is not good enough. No, actually, you need to become Catholic. But here's the basic way to become Catholic. Here's like the Orthodox positions. Surprise, surprise, Chesterton wrote Orthodoxy while still an Anglican. He wrote this in 1908. He converts to Catholicism in the teens or 1920. His book, Everlasting Man, 1925, is when he already converted to Catholicism. But it's interesting that I think Chesterton, I would say, my worthless 2 cents, he's kind of seems to be more high church Anglican than Lewis was. And so he's more like, there's already way more of a kind of Catholic architecture in Orthodoxy. So we finished that. That'll take us through already, week 6. We're already at the end of February at this point. And then we read our 6th encyclical, absolutely Leo XIII's most famous one, Rerum Novarum. We read that end of February, first week of March. Rerum Novarum. It literally means on new things. The Rerum Novarum is this great encyclical on Catholic social justice, economics, that kind of thing. The 1891 Rerum Novarum, which equally criticizes capitalism and socialism, sets the stage for Pius XI's Quadragesimo Anno, which literally means 40 years later, the 40th anniversary, 1931, and John Paul II's Centissimus Annus, 1991. John Paul II also wrote an encyclical called Laborum Exercens, 1981, the 90th anniversary of this. But anyone here who's like, I'm not a capitalist, I'm not a communist, I'm just an American Catholic, I'm just a guy, I'm interested in like distributist ideas, or the distributist school, Hilaire Belloc and Chesterton, people like that, Rerum Novarum might be the thing for you. It definitely comes down more pro-capital than communist, like it rips communism to shreds, but then also shows why, look, also this kind of unbridled, Scrooge McDuck type capitalism is also not good. There can be a third way, a third Catholic way towards, an economic praxis. We read that for 2 classes. It's so important. I'm like, let's break it up over 2 classes. We continue reading encyclicals. We're now on our penultimate encyclical, second last one, 7th one, Testament Levontiae Nostra, which means just the testament of our goodwill, 1899. What is this encyclical? We're going to hate this as Americans. We're gonna riot with like blasting Toby Keith music extremely loud against this, and like lots of apple pie, lots of trucks, lots of natty light. What is Testem Benevolente Nostra about? What does it condemn? Condemns Americanism. Condemns the heresy of Americanism. What might that be? Wouldn't you like to know? Like, come to that class. Specifically Americanism, yeah. But what's interesting, does not condemn America. Does not condemn America proper. You have to realize too, America is a mission country under the jurisdiction of Propaganda Fide until 1908. It's insane. Like Leo XIV, pure domination, first American Pope, awesome. Everyone's trying to talk about he's like the second American Pope. He's the first American Pope. USA all the way, right? Like, well, Francis was South American. He's second. He's the first American Pope. He's from Chicago. He's a White Sox fan. Do you guys know that Leo XIV was at the 2005 World Series? There's a thing of him on Fox News just chilling in the crowd, like blazer half down, like he looks like John Travolta. It's awesome. It's absolutely amazing. It's amazing that 1908 America is still under the jurisdiction of Propaganda Fide, meaning it's like considered mission country. Like you guys are baby Catholics. You guys are not B team. You're like D team. Like, and now all of a sudden, America. We know everything that happens historically with the First and Second World War is the American century, the JFK, all that. The rise of America to world prominence. I can't wait to read that. It does not condemn America. It condemns Americanism, meaning the idea that you can have like a separate American church. That like, well, the Americans, they do it their own. Look at like all the German synodal bishops. Like it condemns that kind of thing. The idea that like the Catholic faith is one thing in Poland, but in Germany, and no. There's not local. It's one of those kind of things. In America, there was this kind of what the Vatican was worried about was a kind of conciliation, a kind of compromise with the American spirit of liberty, and not having the kind of Catholic attitude of like, no, look, we believe Jesus Christ founded the Catholic Church. We should want people to be Catholic. And, the Pope is the vicar of Christ. There was kind of an accommodationism. That's how Leo XIII, I guess, would phrase it. It's not a condemnation of America. It's a condemnation of the idea of like separate national churches, which in their worst malignant form can lead to like the Anglican split. When Henry VIII famously, right? Everyone know that Henry VIII got an award from the Pope. Henry VIII, who makes the Anglican Church, I'm laughing because someone actually claimed, some British dude claimed, that in 1533, it wasn't the Anglicans that broke from the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church broke from the Anglican Church. Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, dude. Yeah, right. But Henry VIII just wanted to be with Anne Boleyn, right? Complete like libido dominandi, dominance of your lustful passions, Augustine would say from last year. And he got an award from the Pope in 1521 for his treatise Defense of the Seven Sacraments against Martin Luther. But then he's like, I know you guys know that I'm this awesome Catholic monarch. I want to divorce Catherine of Aragon. I don't like her anymore. I want to marry Anne Boleyn. The Pope says absolutely not. St. Thomas More famously gets executed for opposing this, right? That's what he's kind of condemning, I think. The worst aspect, like a national church. Well, this is the British way to do Catholicism. There is no British way. That's why I do hate in some of the more liberal magazines. I won't tell you guys how liberal or how conservative I am. I want you to be like, is he like insanely woke or insanely based? I don't know. Like, it could be either one. Like, but I'm never going to tell you what I think. Other than I'm just Catholic. I'm just here to present information, but I'm not going to tell you my political views. But in some of the more left-leaning Catholic periodicals, which I obviously love or I obviously hate, depending upon my own personal view, they will always say like the American Catholic Church. There's no such thing. There's the Catholic Church in America. There's no American Catholic Church. That's kind of what he's talking about. It's one Catholic Church. The national borders don't matter for that as the universal church. Forgive me for spending too much time on that, but yeah, it's going to be a very interesting conversation. Then we read 4 classes of probably my favorite Catholic author. What time is it, by the way, Luke? Can you tell me again? Is it 5:37, like that?
Yeah, 5:34.
Okay, good. This is perfect. All right, so 5:50, this is awesome. We'll be done in the next 5 minutes. We'll read four readings of my favorite Catholic author, Walker Percy. Who has never read something by Walker Percy? So if you do this, this is awesome. Walker Percy is so great, guys. Who has heard of Flannery O'Connor? Yeah, I don't believe the hype. Flannery O'Connor is awesome. I like Flannery O'Connor a lot. The problem is, I saw this guy, he was on this show, one of these like Catholic talk shows. He has some kind of Flannery O'Connor shirt on. Hello, come on in. Are you here for the class?
I think so.
Awesome. You're at the right place. What is your name?
Anthony.
Anthony. Awesome. Welcome.
Sorry, Ryan.
You are coming at the right time. I told people that came in late as well that they're coming at the right time because all we're doing is reviewing the expectations for the class. The class really begins next week. I promise when I finish this point, I'll get you all caught up in like lightning form review, which will serve everyone good, probably myself as well. Some guy was on this Catholic talk show, and he had a Flannery O'Connor shirt on, and it was like Flannery O'Connor's face, and it was so cringy. And I just like, have you ever read anything by Flannery O'Connor? And it's like, the guy probably didn't. He's probably heard that like Flannery O'Connor's cool. Flannery O'Connor is the most vulgar, profane writer. Like, I have no problem with that. It makes me, I like her. But it's like, there's hype surrounding an author, and it's like, we have to actually get into what they actually wrote and said. And I think it's unfortunate that some of these authors become more kind of icons than actual, like, what are they actually saying? Flannery O'Connor is way overhyped in that regard. Sorry for this kind of rabbit hole soapbox on this, but Flannery O'Connor is great. It's just I've seen 1,000 people with Flannery O'Connor shirt. I haven't met anyone who's ever read anything by Flannery O'Connor. Who has read anything by Flannery O'Connor? Anyone? What?
I don't know, at the library, there was a bunch of short stories.
Cool, yeah. She won that's great. That's awesome. That's more than most. She won the National Book Award in 1972 for her collection of short stories. Yeah, they're great. She's a funny writer. If you want to start with Flannery O'Connor somewhere, start with Wise Blood. It's about a guy who wants to found the first church of Christ without God or something like that, like an atheist church, and preach an atheist gospel. He's very militant anti-religion, and she parodies beautifully all kind of like Southern preachers and whatever. She's a woman from Georgia, and she's got that down perfect. And this guy at the end, he can't do it. Like her whole thing is the Christ-haunted person. You probably heard that before. You can't escape Christ. And he ends up going insane. And I don't want to ruin the story, but he blinds himself. And I don't want to ruin the story, but he runs the guy over the car like 100 times. It's very grotesque, but that's probably a good place to start. Her most famous short story is A Good Man is Hard to Find. Why are we still talking about Flannery O'Connor? Wow. What about Walker Percy? Walker Percy, I think, is even better. Walker Percy won the National Book Award in 1962 for his book, The Moviegoer. It's a great place to start. He wrote a hilarious end-of-the-world novel called The Adventures of a Bad Catholic at the End of the World, Love in the Ruins, which is way too profane and vulgar for a Vandal Catholic class. That's why we're not reading it. But it's a fantastic book. The book we're reading by Walker Percy is a nonfiction Signposts in a Strange Land, kind of collection of essays and thoughts. Is anyone here in STEM and stuff like that? Then you'll like this book, I think, a lot. Walker Percy was a medical doctor, actually, for a while, contracted tuberculosis. I think he maybe never finished. He was in his residency. And he was an atheist, contracts tuberculosis, bedridden for 2 or 3 years. During that time, reads the great existentialists, Soren Kierkegaard, Fyodor Dostoevsky, these people. And he brings like Catholic, STEM, sciencey stuff, but science is not enough. Don't go full AI, be Catholic, and very kind of philosophical writing to his work. He's fantastic. And then after we finish that, we read our final encyclical from Leo XIII, Mirae Caritatis on the Holy Eucharist. Awesome. So at the end of the year, come March, you'll have read 4 books, Mere Christianity, then the more detailed Catholic version of that, Orthodoxy by Chesterton, a fantastic novel about the end of the world called Lord of the World, and a wonderful collection of essays by, I think, the best Catholic author of the 20th century, Walker Percy. That sounds great. And you'll have read 8 encyclicals. Listen to the themes in order. Great thematic stuff. What might our Holy Father Leo XIV do now? Well, evils of society, Christian philosophy and Thomism, the Rosary, Christian education, St. Joseph, social economic issues, Americanism, and the Holy Eucharist. All very important, very perennial themes for a papacy. So that's it. So get you fully caught up. 5:40?
Yep.
Okay. To get you fully caught up on that, we'll always be done at 5:50 because Mass starts at 6, classes at 5 till 5:50 every Tuesday. We will come in and just get right down to business. All you have to do, anyone for next class, is read the first 20 pages of this book. Go to vandalcatholic.com, Intellect tab, find this, scroll down, and it shows all the stuff. Under the class where you're supposed to read, so through the first 3 chapters. Please, for you, for anyone, if you haven't read, do not let that be a dissuasion coming to class. If one of you told me straight up right now, I'm never ever going to read anything in this class, but I'm going to be here every single time, you're my hero. Like, I just want you to be in class. I just want you to be here because I'm going to read this stuff. I'm going to talk it to my phone and post it later and do the episode that way. I want to learn from you guys. I made this whole speech earlier. This is not like me teaching you. We're all learning together. And so if you're here and you haven't read, I could not care less. I couldn't care less because I've read, right? There's never been a class where it's like, I hope someone bails me out today. I didn't read it. Like I've got it read. So my interesting thing will be like, hey, Lewis says on page 7 this. What do you think about this? And I want to hear that. I want to hear what you have to say. So you're welcome to read. That's ideal, but don't let it be an obstacle. If you're like, absolutely not, I don't read books. I had a friend in college, and looking back now, I understand why he flunked out. But this is when like Facebook just started, and you could like list things about yourself. Like Facebook used to be this weird transition from MySpace. I literally started college 20 years ago. Fall of 05 was my freshman year of college. And Facebook was just getting big. Mark Zuckerberg had made it like more than the Harvard people. And one of my friends, under his favorite books, listed haha. And it took me like 10 minutes to like look up, what is the book haha? Who's that by? And he was saying like, haha, lol, I don't read books. So if that's you, like, I'm not going to read books, I can't read, I still want you to come to class because we're going to discuss and talk and all that kind of thing. Final note too, for anyone who didn't hear this in the beginning. In my role as director of intellectual formation, this class is but one thing that we do. I'm so grateful, thank God, and so grateful to Father Chase, our amazing pastor. You haven't met Father Chase yet, he's the absolute man. He's an absolute legend. I don't say that because I have to say that. He's the absolute man. I don't know why he's not a bishop yet. I'm glad he's not. I'm glad he's here, but he needs to succeed Leo the 14th. Like, Leo needs to put out like a bulletin like it's already decided in 30 years, you know. He's great. Father Chase is so great. And talk about a first-class intellectual, too. You might have heard, like, he's getting his PhD in Oxford. He's a fantastic man. So much of our programming comes from kind of his ideas. I'm now in my 7th year. We've been at it for a long time. He's 11, so we've been working together for 7 years, and hopefully are refining some of these things, but a lot of credit's due to him. This class is just one thing that we do. On September 10th is our first installment of Spirit and Life series. It's downstairs. There's free food beforehand, and then Father and I talk about a catechetical topic. The first thing is Scripture and tradition. So I'll get up, and my specialty is I'm a historian, so I'll talk about from the historical aspect. He's a priest, theologian, he'll do that, and then we answer questions. We have a semester AMA once a semester, and my favorite thing by far is the fiction offerings that I do. The last 2 Hippo lectures that I did got put into book format. I just, in my most recent book, my novel Mark and Anna Models, was a story I did last year, live, over 6 installments, that just got published last month, July. September 3rd, I think, is our first Hippo lecture. It's so fun. I just cannot explain how fun it is, because it's like the catechetical talks are buttoned down catechesis, and we need that. And this class is very serious. We need to talk about it. The Hippo lectures are crazy. They're insane. And this year, it's a parody of a fiction genre. This professor from the fictional University of the Palouse named Harold Bly Tornado, his birth name was Joseph Stalin Jones, but he changed his name. His parents died in going on a Soviet tour, and he moved to his uncle's farm in Troy, Idaho. Uncle Rick Hitstick Tom Jones and his wife Aunt Betty Crockpot, and it's a complete relentless parody of the fiction genre. The later installments will get it's a lot of trolling on the Rapunzel narrative. I do a lot of stuff with the Protestants and Salem witch trials in the middle of the story. But yeah, if you're interested in that. That is also once a month. So that's the kind of offerings from me that you can get if you're interested in the kind of intellect program at large. We have this class every week, once a week, but also once a month, the fiction talks just with me, and once a month, the Spirit and Life series, Father and I, and the AMAs. And then the last point, the real superstar stuff, in the spring, is the debate between Doug Wilson and Trent Horn. That'll be very, very fun.
What are they debating about?
Is sola scriptura enough?
Is
sola scriptura enough? Is the Bible alone, enough?
Oh, okay.
So obviously, Doug is going to say yes, and version of that, Trent's going to say no. I will moderate. Yeah, all right. 8:46? Any time left?
44.
Amazing. You can do like a real loud buzzer sound, like 48, or whatever, if you want. I do not have the time. I got to find a way to have time on my clock, on my phone. Who has questions? You've heard the whole deal now. Please ask me questions. Speak now. I really want to hear from you. Don't be shy. Tell me what you're thinking. I'm on cloud 9 right now. I've told everyone, like, 3 people in this class is a lot. It's the fact that we have like 15 is like 65,000 people. This is very, very nice. God bless you guys. Thank you. If you could do anything else, it's very fun to. I've told Brad has heard the spiel a million times. I would talk into the camera by myself. I love hearing myself talk. So that's fine, but it's better to have people here. What do you guys think, for real, the last 5 minutes? Any questions? Anyone have any kind of questions, concerns, comments?
You mentioned November 11th, which is Vets Day. Any vets remember Applebee's had a free meal for vets.
That's nice. That's legit. That's very nice.
Except the waitress on what the meal would have cost, they don't take a hit.
That's legit.
It's kind of a fun deal.
That is good for Applebee's, seriously. It's nice when like classic, like, you know, American fast food institutions like do something like that. That's cool. That's very good. I wish Applebee's all the prosperity in the world. It's great. That is very classy and very nice. And good to know. Anyone else? Any other questions? Comments? No. Can you guys go around and say your names one more time? I'm so bad with names. I know some of you, but you know, I'm just so bad with names.
Barbara.
Daniel.
Brad.
Sam.
Tia.
Garrett. Hayden.
Teresa. Adrian. Michelle.
Francis.
Luke.
Very good. Okay, this is great. All right. Well, I have nothing else for you guys. Everyone like watching later on who you know was not here in person, should you feel bad having not made it? Absolutely. We had a lot of fun. You missed out. But it's your fault for not coming. So I'm glad. If you're feeling bad right now, I'm glad that you feel bad. And you're here. Do tell people for real if they want to come. Again, all the things I passed along. That there is no pressure, no commitments, nothing necessary, but they're welcome just to come for whatever discussion. So until next time, thank you guys and take care.